Which means that we have only 2 chapters to go right now. And if they are short enough, we can do it today. Oh, actually, let me check one more thing, because I need to check the how's it called? The thingies. What we need to do in chapter 10 to make sure that we will have the true ending. This is still not ideal. Wait, no. Let's put it like here. Okay, let me quickly see what is the final trigger for that one. But I need to do it without spoiling myself, right? Because I don't want to have the story spoiled. But it seems that there's only one trigger message, and then we will be okay. Okay, then we're good to go. The equation was meaningless. I had solved nothing. Instead, I am left with a terrible choice. Because this is something that we were discussing yesterday before we actually learned the truth. And that was the fact that we might end up choosing if we want to make Mayushi stay alive, or if we want to keep Makise Kurisu alive. So it turned out that we actually stand in front of this choice. There is only one email that we need to reset, and that is the one that we sent to Daru, that Makise Kurisu is dead. The only thing that bothers me when it comes to this thing is that how does it change Makise Kurisu's fate? Because it happened after she died, right? It didn't change her. I mean, it did change her being alive, but that is very, 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 very weird if we think about it. So let's rewind to the first episode, right? We went to the Radican building because we wanted to partake in the presentation about time travel by some shady scientist. We met Makise Kurisu there, and at some point there was this whole thing with satellite, which later turned out to be a time travel machine. And when we were running, we found a room where Makise Kurisu was dead. And when we went out of the building, we sent a message to Daru saying Makise Kurisu is dead. And that triggered a new timeline. So now, did our text message and implication in our text message that she is dead actually made her dead in that timeline? Or what else could have happened there, right? Like, we didn't kill her with that text message. But after we time jumped, kind of, Makise Kurisu was alive. That's why we call her zombie from time to time. So I'm not really sure why this message could save Makise Kurisu somehow. And I'm really curious how that will and I'm really curious how that will evolve, because, well, I don't want any of them dead, right? I've went through a lot just to save everyone, and I did not take into consideration that that might mean that Makise Kurisu is dead. However, what we noticed the past time is that she somehow feels like Makise Kurisu from different timelines. We also learned that we can make people remember different timelines. I'm also curious how that one works, not gonna lie. We've seen that with Faris, we've seen that with Moeka, we've seen that with Lukako. With Faris, we just had to tell her to imagine what would have to change in her life for her life to look like in the original timeline. Lukako kind of like learned the truth himself, herself, depending on the point in time. And with Moeka, we kind of pushed her into that as well. She remembered that at the very, very end when she was dying. She remembered that she killed Mayushi in a different timeline. Mayuri. Or Kurisu. One of them must die. Rarikan is still off limits. They haven't yet repaired the hole that Suzuha's time machine made. I look down through the hole at the streets of Akiba. From up here, they look narrow and stifling. Across the way, a train rumbles by. I watch the yellow striped cars move past. I came here because I wanted to be alone. The day before yesterday, I abruptly cancelled the attempt to hack CERN. Oh yeah, this is another thing. So, the fact that the world changed so much is somehow related to the fact that CERN seems to know about our activity and about us changing time. So, to make sure that we go back to the original timeline means that we need to erase our existence from CERN's database. So tricky. And I wonder what we will do. I spoil myself enough to know that we actually have 2 endings now. So we're gonna go through both, obviously, because we want to 100% the game. Kurisu and Daru demanded an explanation, but I just couldn't give them one. The decision has paralyzed me. 2 days later, I am still nowhere close to finding an answer. What do I do? Pensive wobble, my beloved. 2 weeks ago, on July 28th, Dr. Nakabachi held a press conference in this very spot. The same day, Kurisu was murdered. Let's say we go through the plan and delete the first email I sent, the one about Kurisu's death from CERN's database. That would return us to the beta timeline, where it all began. What would happen then? According to my predictions, our friend LabMem004, Makisu Kurisu, would disappear. Someone who died on July 28th cannot be alive now on August 15th. That would defy causality. A time paradox. That world line has already rejected her existence. The moment we erase the email, Kurisu will cease to exist, and so I am left with 2 options. Option 1, hack CERN with the IBN and erase the first email I sent, thus returning to the beta world line. Kurisu will disappear, but Mayuri will live. CERN will never build a time machine, and the future will be free. Option 2, don't hack CERN, keep living here on the Alpha world line. Mayuri will die, so will Moeka and FB. Kurisu will likely be kidnapped by CERN, but at the very least she won't die. With her research, CERN will gain control of space-time, and the future will be a dystopia where no one is free. And I'm supposed to choose. Ridiculous. I choke out a laugh. How am I, of all people, supposed to make that choice? There's no way. I don't really care about the future, whether it's free or ruled by CERN. I know I should care. Suzuha entrusted her wish to me. Doesn't that make it my responsibility? But still, it doesn't seem quite real. 20 years is a long time. Right now, only Mayuri and Kurisu matter. I must choose which to save. If I had been given this choice back on July 28th, before this all started, I probably would not hesitate to abandon Kurisu and save Mayuri. But it's not July 28th, it's August 15th. I've spent 2 long weeks with Kurisu. She's one of us now, an integral part of the lab. And as I leap through time again and again, she was the person I relied on most. Always calm, always thoughtful, always ready with a new hypothesis. Always there to give me a push when I needed it most. I wouldn't even have the time leap machine if not for Kurisu. It's thanks to her that I made it this far. After all she's done for me, there's no way I can abandon her now. But nor can I let the Mayuri die. Everything I've done, I did to save her. I would give anything, even my own life, to see her safe. More than anything, I want her to live. No matter what, I won't let her die. I can't choose. I can't. Kill Kurisu or kill Mayuri, this is what this choice comes down to. Is this how it ends? I drive my fist into the wire fence. Is there no other option? No way to save them both? What if I use Suzuha's time machine? I could return to the Beta World line, then use her time machine to travel to July 28th. No, that won't work. The reason Suzuha left to 2010 was to prevent CERN from creating a dystopia that only occurs on this world line. On the Beta World line, she'll have no reason to leap to 2010. Suzuha's time machine won't exist, so I won't be able to use it. Alright, then what if I send Kurisu a warning via Gmail? It could say, don't go to Dr. Nakabachi's presentation. No, that won't work either. Remember, casuality converges. Kurisu's death is inevitable on Beta World line, just as Mayuri is inevitable on this world line. No matter what I do, fate will ensure her death. There's no way. I slowly sink to the floor with my back against the fence. I can't save her. I'm powerless against the will of fate. What should I do? What should I do? Maybe Mayuri doesn't die on the current world line. I cancelled Maika's email, plus I haven't had an opportunity to check the divergence meter since. Might there be a chance? If the pattern continues, Mayuri's death has been pushed back to the night of 17th. If Mayuri doesn't die between 7 and 8 p.m. that night, then I won't have to face this horrible decision. Isn't there 2 more world lines there, or am I misremembering? Good question, because we would have to align what we think about world lines. So what Suzuha explained to us that there is like a world line alpha and world line beta, and within. Oh. Yeah, maybe there is a third one. Maybe this is something we didn't. Maybe you're right. I don't remember that much. But I think we will learn as we go. But that would make sense. Because what if we go to the world line where the question would be how to get to them? Well, to go to the beta world line, right? We need to reach convergence 1. So I would assume that to get to the next one would be maybe to push it to 2%. That would make sense. I know it's unlikely. I understand from all my experiences so far. But still, I can't help but cling to that hope. Mayuri and Kurisu, if I can just save them both, then I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I'll betray Suzuha's dream if that's what it takes. So please, let Mayuri live. To whom should I make this desperate plea? God? Fate? The universe itself? Either way, I am just one insignificant human among billions. Will my prayers truly reach? I already know what the answer will be, and that knowledge, that certainty, is despair. Komima runs for 3 straight days, from 15th to 17th. On the last day, I go with Mayuri and stay with her from morning until Komima closes. It's not really my thing though, and the crowd is ridiculous, so I wait off the side with Mayuri's bags. From time to time, Mayuri appears with new bags for me to guard, and usually a snack for us to share, but most of the day I spend alone. To some extent, I'm here to escape reality, to empty my mind and forget my fears. But even when I close my eyes, I can still hear the footsteps of death approaching. It's already dark by the time the bus drops us back at Akiba. Mayuri is dragging her costume case behind her. I'm carrying bags covered in moe artwork and loaded with doujinshi. Those are all Mayuri's purchases, not mine. I can't believe she bought so much. I guess the reason she doesn't cosplay herself is that she's too busy shopping. We get off the bus and just stand there for a while. Why would she go to the lab? Aww, that's cute.
ちょっとお腹が空いたからね。途中でジューシー唐揚げナンバーワンを買うの。
Maybe why Mayuri wants to taste a normalcy again now that the chaos of Komima has ended. I can't begrudge her that. I stiffly groan and shrug my shoulders.
じゃあ帰るか。
ねえねえオカリ、今日はね、
She knows. Not like this. She's too omnipotent. She already knows.
これまでは一度もコミマに一緒に行ったことないよね。
ロボットアニメには興味はある。
But not so much that I would line up early in the morning for Komima each year like Daru and Mayuri do.
で、どうして今日は付き合ってくれたの？
それは
To confirm your death. Those words pop into my head, but I quickly shake them away. Why am I so set on Mayuri dying? I want her to live, remember?
それは
気まぐれだ。
Suddenly, silence. A downhearted frown replaces the usual smile on Mayuri's face. Did my answer upset her? But it's not like I could tell her the truth. How do you tell someone they're going to die?
ルカ子が
I frantically try to smooth things
コスプ
over.
レして恥ずかしがっているところを見て笑ってやろうと思ったのだが来ていなくて残念だった。
ルカ君、絶対大人気になっちゃうのにね。いろんなブログに画像アップされまくってね、新聞社のニュースサイトにも載って、そしたらルカ君はワールドワイドなスーパースターなの。で、
She already painted entire future of
遠いところ
Lukaka.
に行っちゃったなーって。
本当にそうなりそうだから困る。
オカリ、
Suddenly, Mayuri turns around and peeks at my face as she walks backwards.
今日はね、ありがとう。
なんだ突然。
だってね、さっきも言ったけど、オカリンと一緒にコミマ来たの、マユシーは結構嬉しかったよ。
A smile finally returns to her face.
でもね、次はオカリンもコスプレしてくれると。
ああ考えておく。
That's right. Don't think negative thoughts. Think about a fun, bright future.
いいの？本当に？
I forgot to say hello earlier, so hello, the story is too good, so I forgot. It's understandable. Hello, hello.
マユリ自身もコスプレして参加するならな。それだけじゃなくルカ子とそれとクリスティーナも呼ぼう。そこまでできたなら真打ちとしてこの俺が狂気のマッドサイエンティスト王院京馬としてコミマに降臨しようではないか。
Oh, it's so painful. The next Kumima takes place in this winter. We'll all be there as if none of this ever happened. All of us laughing and smiling together. Just imagine a future like that.
そっか、道は険しいね。でもね、それにクリスちゃんはコスプレに興味津々みたいだったし、脈あるかも。マユシ、頑張ってみるね。
They should make Daru cosplay too. We arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody here today. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is Moeka going to ambush us? On the previous world line, I forgave my account to Noji, but that has already been undone. This is a new world line. The Rounders are still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine.
マユリここでちょっと待ってろ。
I motion for her to sit and wait on the bench in front of... Then I carefully check the area. I know my efforts are likely futile. But still, I want to do anything I can, anything to give Mayuri a chance, however small, of surviving on this world line. Something tells me it would be foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first, I decide to check the street for any suspicious people. I walk down the street towards Kuramae Boshidori, careful to always keep Mayuri in sight. Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street fires its engine and takes off in our direction. I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar. But I have seen that wagon before. It's the same one Moeka used to run us over on a previous world line. The same one Tenoji used to transport the IBM. And now it's bearing down on me at full speed. I'm in the center of the road, there's nowhere to run. The station wagon flips on its high beams, instantly turning my vision wide. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab. Instead I'm facing a charging car. What do I do? I'm fine. I want to die. This world line hasn't improved that fate. No, wait. What day is it? This is the first time I've made it to the 17th. Does that mean my death is still undecided? Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that will save her, if that will end this, then maybe it's for the best. No, I don't want to die yet. Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to turn. Will I be the one to die? God damn it, we lost her again. Something slams into my back. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone's saved me? I look up to see the station's wagon's taillights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the center of the road, is Mayuri. I run to her side. She's bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? But that's not what I wanted. I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitched and slowly open.
Mayuri. ごめん。
Her hand wanders as if seeking something. It reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy. They could close any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. And for some reason, she smiles. Oh my god. Oh, that's useless. Stardust handshake. Her delicate fingers grasp at the sky, but all they find is empty air. Her arms goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Mayuri is no longer breathing. I've seen her die countless times, but this time it's too much. This time it's all my fault. I embrace Mayuri's tattered body, her lifeless, motionless, tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back my tears.
お前ここからじゃあんまり星が見えないな。こんなのあんまりだろう。
Why did she have to die like this? What possible meaning could this death have? Yes, it happened because fate demanded it. Yes, her death is unavoidable, the result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen, but I never imagined that she would die saving me and with a smile on her face.
やっと役に立てたって。一体どういう意味なんだよ。な。
There is no future for Mayuri on this world line, and that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the beta world line, killing Kurisu? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I am the one who twisted fate. I am the one who must decide. That was quick. I mean, he's giving himself more time to decide, right? So it's okay. It's understandable like this. The sky is blue. I'm on the roof of Radican after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. I lean against the wire fence and stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. Where are you? You haven't been to the lab in 2 days. Are you still in Akiba? We're worried, you know. You were acting strange yesterday. I wanted to help. Ah, did we miss something? That one should be clickable, I think. I think I actually missed something, but I don't know what. Steins Gate. Call emoji. I mean, if I missed something, I'll have to like skipped to all the messages in the previous episodes. So this part where you are should be clickable. Like this message should not be even achievable if previous triggers are there. So this is something that, like, we shouldn't get this message if we didn't have anything here. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Maybe we need to like time skip one more time. I wanted more time to think, that's why I came back. Last time I spent 2 days refusing to face reality, but that is no longer an option, now that I've confirmed Mayuri's death. This time I need to reach a decision, but how? The equation has no solution. No matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose the beta world line where CERN never creates a dystopia, but it's not that simple, not for me. There must be some other way. According to Suzuha, 2010 is a point of great divergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence had already commenced by the time I sent the email reporting Kurisu's death. So when did the divergence begin? I can't say for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the phone wave, name subject to change. That was around the middle of July. Daru and I deemed it a failure right after completion. By the time Kurisu was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day when I sent the email that started it all. After that moment, every pedestrian and vehicle on the main street of Akiba suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago, but now I can finally explain it. That was the moment I moved to the Alpha World line. On the Beta World line, where all this began, Suzuha didn't arrive in her time machine. Dr. Nakabachi's conference went ahead as planned, and the flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent the email, everything changed on a huge scale, from my perspective at least. On the current world line, Suzuha crashed her time machine into the reef of the Radican. Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick, it's so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of the email. I moved to the Alpha World line after Kurisu died. If I had sent the email before she died, then I might have been able to intervene, even now, on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent that email because I saw Kurisu's body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. It definitely wasn't a suicide. What if I identified the murderer and sent them an email warning them off? Would that prevent her death? I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that email, I would first have to move to the Beta world line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. I've already seen Mayuri die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent it failed. I understand all that too well. When fate wants someone's dead, nothing can stop it. I can't save Kurisu. I thought I was alone, but it seems that I was wrong. I turn around to see Kurisu standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look into her face, not now.
いや、よくここが分かったな。
一人になりたいって言ってたから、確率的に見てここに一番いそうっていう回を導き。
だったら一人にさせてくれ。わざわざ探さなくていい。
Hey, you kind of are Akaba. You're a little bit of a lost little boy.
何よ。せっかく人が心配して探しに来たのに。いや、心配はしてないけど。
Right after she gets herself flustered, Kurisu sighs and puts on a serious expression.
私だってあんたのことなんて放っておこうかと。ただ一昨日の岡部なんか変だったから。くそ、 そまずいオートミール食べてる時みたいなしょげっぷりじゃない？
何も。
だったらなんでセルンへのクラッキングをやめたの？
お前だってクラッキングは良くないと言っていただろう。
タイーホフラグが立ってビビったんですね。わかります。
せめて順法精神に目覚めたと言ってくれ。
全然らしくないな。いつもの独善的な態度はどこ行ったのよ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト法王院。
独善的でなんかいられるか。今回ばかりは独善的じゃいられないんだ。
I have forced my ego on others before. Suzuha, Faris, Lukaka. I sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. I justified it by telling myself that it was necessary to save Mayuri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made my self-righteous choice. But this time the alternatives are impossible to compare.
仲間のどちらを見殺しにするかって決断を前にして独善的でいられたら。
どちらかを見殺しって
なあ、クリスティーナ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト法王院京馬。
I bet you had no idea.
設定だ。気づかなかっただろう。
Yeah. The insane mad scientist Hoyin Kyoma, that's just a fantasy, a character I made up. I bet you had no idea.
いや、初対面時点でなんとなく気づいてましたが。
初対面か。
What if I hadn't found Kurisa's body back then? Let's try imagining that situation. If I hadn't seen Kurisa dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, we would have never built the time leap machine, leaving me without the means to save Mayuri. And of course, Kurisa would not become our friend. We would not be as close as we are right now.
答えて岡部。どういう意味なの？
I can't meet her
ど
questioning
うして
gaze.
も
散々相談に乗ってやったでしょ。今さら遠慮するな。
That's not what this is about.
だったら覚悟してくれ。これから話すのは相談じゃない。お前にとっては。
Kurisa's voice cracks a little.
俺は説明したよな。セルンにクラッキングをすることでマユリが死ぬことのない
2036年のセルンのディストピアもなくなる。自由な未来が待ってるバラ色の世界線。
バラ色なものかよ。元凶となった最初の D メール。その内容はお前にもベータ世界線ではそのメールの内容が。
Kurisu is a genius. I have no doubt she
ベータ世界
understands.
線では7月28日に。そしてそれはアトラクターフィールド理論による収束のせいでマユリを救おうとするなら俺は。
Kurisu says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Kurisu is always like this, always calm no matter what. It's hard to believe she's younger than me. Her soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. She lifts a hand to hold it down.
ねえ、岡部、アトラクターフィールドってどこまで信憑性があると思う？
信憑。
あれって全部ジョン・タイター、天音さんの受け売りでしょ。2036年時点ではスタンダードらしいけど、その時代の研究者たちは一体どうやってそれが正しいって証明したの？
I think that's the question to Kurisu from like 15 years back,
理
like
論
in
が
the
間違
future.
っていると言いたいのか。だが確かに
収束は正しいとしても、無限個に枝分かれした世界線が重ね、
俺が世界線を移動すると世界は再構成される。
それって 岡部の主観での話でしょ。あんたの脳が認識してる私はベータ世界線に行くと、それはつまり私が死んでいる世界線と私が死んでいない世界線のうち、あんたの脳が認識する世界と私の脳が認識する世界は別物かもしれないってい
Brains.
う可
I
能性は
forgot
な
her
いのかな。
speciality was neuroscience.
別物って世界が分裂するということか。
分裂というか電車みたいなものなのかも。
電車？
わかりやすい例を挙げる
Kurisu
と、
takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it.
路線図で調べてみたけど、秋葉原から横浜に行くのに、
お前鉄オタだったのか。
違う、例えよ例え。あんたは山手線で東京駅まで出て、そこから東海道本線に乗るのを選んだ。
Kurisu keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary.
でも私は山手線で大崎まで行った後、湘南新宿ラインに乗った。もしかしたら別の人。橋田なんかはそもそもいきなり秋葉原から京浜、真由里なら東京から新幹線に乗るかも。岡部と私は東京駅までは同じ電車に乗ってるけど、そこからは違う線に乗って。
それを世界に当てはめるとパラレルワールドを主張するのか。
たまには私も妄想ぐらいする。でも世界が一つだと誰が証明した？
鈴葉の言葉と俺のリーディングシュタイナーが。
正体不明のタイムトラベラーと原因不明の特殊能力ね。
鈴葉は正体不明では。
彼女が橋田の娘かどうかは誰にも証明できない。2036年から来たかも。そもそももしリーディングシュタイナーが正しいなら、あらゆる人間の記憶があんたの、そんなの無理がありすぎる。もしそうだったら岡部は文字通り神。でも現実には神なんていない。世界はあんたを中心に回っているわけじゃない。あんたの脳がそう錯覚させているだけ。世界にとってあんたが神だというなら、同体積の脳を持つ私も世界にとって神。
何が言いたいんだ。
仮に岡部の主観が私が死ぬ世界線を選んだと、それは私の主観がここに存在していることからも、すでにこの世界線はあんたの主観がベータ世界線に行ってしまっても、私の主観はここに留まることだってできるの。精神はどこにあるかって話。そして私は私の精神を
科学者とは思えないほどのファンタジー。
でも可能性はゼロじゃない。だからあんたは何も心配する必要はない。
Kurisu smiles. How can she smile? I just told her that she's going to die.
私を見殺しにできないって言って。でも今の私の仮説で言えば、私は別の可能性世界線で。だからそもそも岡部は悩む必要。
仮説は仮説だ。
アトラクタフィールド理論だって仮説。まだ誰にも何も証明されてないから。2030、そう考えれば未来の可能性は無限よ。
Kurisu turns her back to me after finishing. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could quite possibly render meaningless everything I've done up to now. How can Kurisu stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl.
ちなみに心配なんかしてくれなくてもいいから。岡部にそんなことされたら。
そんな言い方。もしもし。マユリか。
Displayed on the screen is Mayuri's face, devoid of its usual brightness for some
どうした？
reason.
ダルくんから聞いたんだ。オカリンがなんだか変だったって。マユシーはコミマに夢中になってて、オカリンいつもならオカリンが元気なかったらすぐに気づくの。ごめんね。
Don't apologize. You've done nothing wrong.
でね、何かあったの？ オカリ
I can't tell her. I can't. I've kept it a secret from her all this time. That's the way it has to be.
何もないよ。
そっか、前はよくマユシーにいろんな話してくれたよね。例えば期間には幹部が4人。
玄武と朱雀と青龍と白虎だ。
そういうね、オカリンのお話とっても面白かったな。でもねえオカリン、
そんなこと。
じゃあとりあえず切るね。もしマユシーにいろいろお話ししたいなって。じゃあトゥットゥルー。
He hung up on me.
まゆり、なんだって？
あいついつもは空気を読めないくせに。
重荷。
俺は一度だって。
だったらそれをはっきり言ってあげればいい。
Maybe it wasn't a good idea to leave Mayuri in the dark. She never looks like she's thinking anything, and yet she saw my doubt. Either way, I can't tell her the truth.
岡部、
Kurisu sighs, then glares at me.
これまでのあんたなら悩んだりしなかったはず。とりあえずまゆりに会いに行くべき。あの子だっていろいろ思うところがあるんだろうし。
Right. Even if I don't tell Mayuri the truth, I need to at least tell her something. I'll postpone my indecision and go see Mayuri. It's afternoon, the first day of Komima, and the crowds are finally beginning to thin out. Of course, the industry booths and cosplay areas are still packed, but at least I don't have to wait in a line to get in. I've been trying to get in touch with Mayuri for a while now, but she hasn't responded. I checked with Daru, but he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 p.m. I focus on searching the cosplay area until then, but I still can't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. I try calling her home, no luck. They haven't seen her since she left this morning. Where is she? I'm always afraid that she'll disappear the second I take my eyes off her. It's been like that ever since she lost her grandmother. Maybe it's just my imagination. We've been so close for so long. I saw Mayuri at her weakest and most vulnerable. Maybe that has made me overprotective, but I don't care how other people see us. I just can't leave Mayuri alone. I step into the cemetery, the final resting place of Mayuri's beloved grandmother. When was the last time I came here? For about a year after Mayuri became my hostage, I would periodically accompany her here. But I don't think I've been here since I entered high school, so it's been about 3 or 4 years. As I get closer to Mayuri's grandmother's grave, I begin to hear a voice. It's Mayuri. I would recognize her voice anywhere. It sounds like she's talking to someone. I approach quietly.
ねえおばあちゃん。
Mayuri is standing there, talking to the grave. What a relief. She hasn't disappeared. I decide to watch silently from a short distance
最
away.
近ね、怖い夢をよく見るんだ。
For a second I wonder if she's learned to commune with the dead, but no, she's just talking to herself.
その夢の中
I
で
mean,
は
I'm
ね
pretty sure she's communing with the
いつ
dead.
もマユシーはひどい目に遭うの。ピストルでバーンって撃たれたり、車の事故に巻き込まれたり、電車に
What?
ひかれたり。
Don't tell
そ
me.
れで本当のことみたいで、すごく痛くて、すごく悲しくて、誰か助けてって、どうしてそんな夢見るのかな。
Does she remember her dads? All of them? Is she inheriting memories like I
で
do?
ね、その夢の最後はいつも決まってるの。マユシーが泣いてるとね、オカリンが助けに来てくれるんだ。マユシーはオカリンにありがとう、ありがとうって言うんだけど、オカリンはマユシーを抱きしめてとっても悲しそうな顔をしてた。泣いちゃいそうだけど絶対に泣かなくてね。 でも
Come
一
to
生
think
懸
of
命
it,
我慢してるのがわかるの。
both Faris and Lukaku remembered their memories from before the past changed. I used to think that memories couldn't be shared between the word lines. I used to think that I was the exception with reading Steiner. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe everyone has the same power and the only difference is how strong it is. Maybe reading Steiner is nothing special after all.
だからマユシーも悲しくなってごめんねごめんねって言うけど、やっぱり声は届かなくて、そこでいつも目が覚めるんだ。どうしてこんな夢見るのかな。
I've failed so many times to save her. I've watched her die again and again. Everything I've done has been to prevent that from happening, and yet have the memories of those deaths have been tormenting her as she sleeps. I bite my lip in frustration. I still have a terrible decision to make. Do I save Mayuri or do I save Kurisu? There's no perfect ending here. I can't save them both. It's one or the other. If I choose Kurisu, then Mayuri's dreams will become a reality. I don't want Mayuri to feel any pain. Until now, I've thought only of saving her. That is my goal. But at the same time, I can't let Kurisu die. Again, my thoughts hit at the same dead end. Mayuri hasn't noticed me yet. She's still staring at the sky, just as she was on the day I took her hostage. She's talking to her grandmother in heaven.
そうそう、最近ラボメンがすごく増えたんだよ。クリスちゃんでしょ、萌香さん、ルカ君、フェリスちゃん、それと8人だよ。すごいね。
On this world line, they all became lab mems. However, not a single of them has sent a D-mail.
最初はオカリンとマユシーの2人だけだったのに、ラボができたばっかりの頃はね、オカリンはあんまり面白そうじゃなかったけど、最近はね、とっても楽しそうなんだよ。
Is that how she sees it? Well, she's not wrong. She really does know me, doesn't
そ
she?
んなオカリンを見てるとね、マユシーも嬉しくなって、それにね、賑やかだとウキウキしてくるし、特にクリスちゃんはね、アメリカの有名な本に論文が載ったりして、マユシーは憧れちゃうのです。タイムマシンだって作っちゃうぐらいなんだから。あ、これはオカリンとダルくんも一緒に作ってたけどね。
Then Mayuri falls silent. Her gaze becomes distant. She stands still and looks up to the sky. What could she be
でも
thinking?
ね、たまに思うんだ。最初マユシーが押しかけてラボに2人きりだった時のこと。学校が終わってラボに行くとね、オカリンはいないのでね、お部屋の片付けしたり、可愛い小物を飾り付けたりしてるうちに、マユシーがおかえりって言うと、オカリンはただいまとは言わなくて、
Okarin would set up good work like a big boss or something.
その後は毎日2時間ぐらい、その2時間はね、会話なんてほとんどただそこにいるっていう感じで、2人で並んでソファーに座って、オカリンはラボの作戦計画書みたまに思い出したようにね、とてもゆっくり、それでもいいかな、まるでマユシーは本当に人質になっちゃったみたいだなとかふと思う。オカリンはニコニコしてるマユシーを見てね、こうい
I
うの
remember. It was 4 months ago, still spring. The lab wasn't as lively as it is now. It was an isolated bubble of slow-moving
何
time.
かいいことでもあったのか。
あのね、いいことはなかったけど、
そうか、幻想を見たのだろう。それはもしかすると機関の幹部の一人、通
そっか、じゃあ気をつけなきゃ。
Kid hugger?
子だくさんではないコンダクターだ。
Mr. Illusion Kid hugger?
その人はきっと悪い人じゃないと思うな。
It was nothing, just meaningless chatter to pass the time.
それはマユシーにはすごく心地よくて、
Ah, Jason. Are you proud of yourself? But you know, so loud, holy moly. On the good note, this part will not be on VOD. I mean, you burn. Oh. Yeah, thankfully I made it so you actually don't have that sound on the freaking VOD. Jason Fly went all in and won so many. Oh, holy shit, nice. Congrats. Karma somehow decided to reward you for your behavior. I just can't believe that.
なんだか泣きそうなくらい嬉しくて。このままずっと続いてほしいなって思って。あ、今の
Bad people
賑や
always
かさ
have
が
it good.
嫌ってわけじゃないんだよ。
Ah, Mayuri, you're breaking my heart with every word you say. Mayuri shakes her head in denial. Finally, she stops looking up at the sky and bows her head instead.
最近ね、オカリンと話す時間ちょっと減っちゃった。
You're just evil, Jason, but thank you for your bit.
だからね、マヤシーは寂しくなっちゃったのかもしれない
I
ね。
would keep her company. I would make sure that she's not lonely. It's true. I haven't had time to talk to her lately, but that's because I've been fighting to prevent her death, to keep her dreams from coming true. Also so that Mayuri will keep smiling. I never again wanted to see her cry like she did on the day her grandmother died.
でもね、オカリンの重荷にはなりたくないんだ。
That word again. Burden. I've never thought of her as a
マ
burden.
ヤシーはいつもオカリンに迷惑かけてばっかりだね。おばあちゃん、
Mayuri lifts her face one more.
いつまでもこのままじゃいられないよね。
このままでいい。
When I finally speak to Mayuri, she turns my way with a surprised expression. Her face is so soft and so innocent. Slowly, her lips curve into a
オ
smile.
カリンだ。あ、すごいね。どうしてここにいるってわかったの？
人質がどこにいるのか、俺は常に把握しているのだ。
人質。
だからお前は俺の手からは逃れられん。
そっか。でもね、あんまり無理したらダメだよ。マユシーはね、ちょっぴり心配なのです。
お前に心配されるほどこの法王院京馬はヤワではないのだ。マユリ、話せる時が来たら全て
Wouldn't
話す。
he though? I don't think he will tell her that. If he told her about all the stuff that he changed and all the people he fucked over, she would be devastated.
ほえ？
だからそれまでお前は何も変わらずにいてくれ。
Mayuri stands up and turns to the grave once more. As an offering, she leaves a brand new white lily as well as some dango
オカリン、
dumplings.
帰ろう。
帰る前に団子を食べるんだろ。
Back when we used to visit the cemetery together, it was part of our daily routine to eat dango on the way back.
もちろんだよ。
Akiba is empty again today. The otaku will all made the exodus to Komima for the second day of battle. But come nightfall, they will return to Akiba like a victorious army laden with spoils, and the streets will be chaos. I know Daru has gone to Komima. The question is, has Mayuri? I hope she has. I want things to be normal again. I remember what I heard yesterday, the feelings Mayuri expressed at her mother's grave. The events of the last few weeks have affected her as well. After I escorted her home from the cemetery, I spent the whole night racking my brain for a third option, a way out of this mess. My thoughts were a jumble, ideas coming and going too fast to judge which were right and which were wrong. But of course, there isn't a right choice here. For in the end, it always comes back to the same question: who do I let die? And no matter how I try to dance around it, the answer is always the same. I can't choose. Is there no one else who can make this decision? No. Even if there were, I know I would never accept their choice, whichever it happened to be. Once again, I'm heading for the River of Radican. I had to get out of the lab. Mayuri or Kurisu might return at any moment, and I can't face them now. I look up at the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy. It could start raining any minute now. I thought that I was alone, but someone was here before me. Kurisu is lying in the middle of the roof, arms and legs spread as if making a snow angel. The image of Kurisu in a pool of blood flashes through my mind. Is she alright? I run towards her, but before I make it halfway, she suddenly sits up and turns to face me. What a dumb thing to say. Fortunately, it looks like Kurisu didn't hear me. She's busy combing her disheveled hair and with her fingers. I breathe a silent sigh of relief.
ここだとあんたと会っちゃう可能性があること。
何をしていたんだ？
考え事。
そうか。
Was she thinking about her death? I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. Kurisu appears to be in the same boat. She's staring at the capsule toy dispenser in the corner, her face wearing the usual frown. The awkward silence drags on. When you think about it, Kurisu's fate rests in my hands. My decision will determine whether she lives or dies. Her fantastic hypothesis yesterday was a desperate attempt to construct a scenario where she doesn't die. Even if she believes that her theory is correct, it must be difficult for her to avoid imagining her own death. I force a smile. I'm getting really uncomfortable here.
邪魔になっているようだからな。
Damn, I was expecting a sarcastic remark like, "Since when do mad scientists have manners?" or something. Just then, something cold lands on the tip of my nose. When I look up, raindrops start landing on my forehead, and even an evening shower. It's only going to get more intense and quickly. Kurisu haven't moved a muscle. She's just standing there with her arms folded, staring at the ground as if she doesn't notice rain at all.
おい。
She's acting strange, like her mind is elsewhere. I knew it. She's been thinking about... In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. We had no time to seek shelter. Kurisu's scream is drowned out by the roar of the rain.
びっくり。
夕立を甘く見たな。
Now, safely inside the building, we take a moment to catch our breath. It's been a week since Suzuha's time machine disappeared, but Rarikan is still closed. The lights are off, and it's pretty dark inside.
もっと早く忠告してよ。おかげで下着までびしょ。
右に同じく。この暗さに助けられたな。
どういう意味？
もしラジカンが営業していたら。
Even in the dim light, I can tell that Kurisu is scrambling to cover her chest.
あんたも変態だってこと。
I mean, at least he got a little bit of his, like, Dejan humor back, right?
自分から下着までびしょ濡れだと申告しておいてよく言う。
これ以上口聞かないで。下着の色とかよくも妄想したな。
妄想などしてない。
She's too self-conscious. But the color on her underwear, huh? Gotta be white.
冷えるか。
だから脱いで乾かせって。ふざけないで。
誰もそんなこと言ってないだろう。ま、たとえ服を脱いだとしても、この暗さだから案ずることはない。
それ以上喋ると、あんたの大脳新皮質をポン酢につけて高級料亭で提供してやるんだから。
すまん。
He used a lot of very, very hard words. Please spare me that horror. Still, these wisecracks are welcome distraction.
夕立ならすぐに止むわよね。それまで待つか。
I see Kurisa's shadowy form move to sit on the staircase. I sit next to her.
なんで横に。
Did your own stare?
喋るなと言ったのはお前だ。
God damn it, Jason, for the love of God, why? We're sharing an intimate moment with the redhead. Thank you, I'll come and find you. Oh my dear lord, can't have nothing for real.
あんまり近くに来ないでよ。
But please don't do it if we're like in a very, very like crucial moment. Please. You're too close.
今ぐらいの距離が限界だから。これ以上離れるとは言わないけど、これ以上近づいたら押し返すからな。
So, thank you. Thank you for the bits and ruining the immersion. At least no one will fall asleep during the slower scenes. Our bodies gradually grow cold. We start shivering. Maybe I should take off my wet clothes. But if I do that, Kurisa will just call me a perv again. Better not. My eyes gradually adjust to the darkness. I can see Kurisa more clearly now. She's huddled up against the wall.
こっち見んな。
バカな。この暗さでは俺がどこを見ているかなどわからな
Does
い
she
は
have infravision? No, I think her eyes adjusted to you,
やっぱり見
dumbass.
てたのか。
So you were looking. Damn, she's leading a question on me. That's such a high-level technique. I avert my eyes from Kurisa and take off my lab coat. That's when I notice my coat is torn at the shoulder.
屋上から避難した時にどこかに引っ掛けた。
何の話？
いや、上着の肩口が破れかけていた。
岡部ってドジっ子だったの？
俺はマッドサイエンティスト属性であってドジっ子属性など持っていない。
It seems like forever since I've talked to Kurisa's Hoi in Kyoma.
はいはい。
Kurisa suddenly holds out her hand.
ほら、
何？
ちょうどソーイングセット持っ
I
てるから。
happen to have a sewing kit with me. What? Why would she have that with
ソ
her?
ーイングセットだと？
悪いか。
I hand over my coat as asked.
実験大好きっ子のくせにそんな家庭
You're
的な
not
ものを。
supposed to be domestic.
実験大好きっ子であると同時に
家庭的な女の子なのか？
相対的に見れば家庭的かもね。と言っても日本の女子高生の家庭的女の子指数がどれくらいか知らないけど。
There's an index for that? First I've heard of it. Kurisa skillfully threads the needle despite the darkness.
濡れてるから針が通りにくいの。
本当に偶然持っていたのか？
しつこい。そんなに私がソーイングセット持ってたら悪いの？
悪いとは言っていないが、まるで狙ってたのようだったからな。
つまりあんたが服を破ってしまうのを見越してあらかじめ用意し、そんなわけあるか。それと勘違いしないでほしいんだけど、別に
出たな、ツンデレセリフ。
茶化すな。あんたが偶然服を破って、私は偶然ソーイングセットを持っていた。
偶然。まさかお前タイムリープしている？
つまりあんたが服を破ってしまったからタイムリープして事前にソーイングセットを用意したって言って。そんなわけあるか、そんなわけあるか。大事なことなので2回言いました。アンダースタン？
確かに。わざわざタイムリープして対策を練るならばソーイングセットではなく。
何それ、皮肉？文句ばっかり。
After working for a while, Kurisa cuts the string with her teeth, then hands me back my coat.
ほら。
ありがとう。
出来については暗くて確認できないけど、 もし仮に出来が悪くても私の腕のせいじゃない。ちなみに糸の色についても何が出るかお楽しみに。
色もランダムなのか。
黒か赤かピンク。
せめてピンクが出ないように祈ろう。寒いか。
まあね。
俺の上着を羽織るか。
それだって濡れてるでしょ。
まあそうだが。
Silence again. The words flow so naturally when it's just harmless banter, but 1 second of silence and suddenly we have nothing to say. It must be because of what happened yesterday. I'm so desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what?
結論は出た。
Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly in the silence of the empty stairway. I look at her. She's hugging her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's what I can't answer.
まだ悩んでるの？あんたってまゆりのこと好きなんでしょ？
何？
Where did that come from? Chrissy keeps staring into the
ただの
darkness.
錯覚かもしれないけど、私の心の中に奇妙な記憶というかデジャブみたいなものがある。そこではあんたはまゆりを助けようと必死になってて、
Chrissy too?
そんな岡部が私に相談をしてきて、そのひたむきに頑張ってる姿を見て、別にあんたを助けたいって思ったわけじゃないからな。とにかく私にはなぜかそんな錯覚が記憶のよう
The
に残って
Chrissy
る。
is the same. She still has faint memories from previous
自己
world
分
lines.
析してみたけど、夢で見たものを現実と思い込んでるのか、ただこれであんたはまゆりを助けるべきなの。
怖くないのか。
To save Mayuri, I mustn't do the current word line. If I do that, she will die.
なんだか廃墟に迷い込んだみたい。
Chrissy suddenly changes the subject. She looks around the dark, empty train well.
まるで世界中の電源が切られ、私たちだけ取り残されたみたい。ふと思うんだ。もしあんたがベータ世界線に行ったとする。みんなも一斉に、私だけは移動できない。私だけ。そしたら世界中がこの場所みたいになっちゃうのかな。所詮これも仮説の一つだけど。
俺は
I need to say it.
お前も救う。まゆりだけじゃなくて。
できもしないこと言わなくていい。
Chrissy cuts me off sharply, then buries her face in her knees.
怖くないかって怖いに決まってるでしょ。自分が消えるかもしれない。自分で、あるいはあんただけがこの世界線からいなくなるか。誰もあんたがいなくなったことを認識してない世界がずっと続いていって、私はかもしれない、かもしれない、かもしれない。そんないろんな可能性を考えて、その度でも
Chrissy raises her head and spears me with her glare.
だからマユリを見殺しにしろなんて言えると
クリス。
思う？もうなんか寒いな。
Chrissy grabs her own arms. In the darkness, I see her shoulders
濡
shaking.
れてる服着てる青年。ダメだ。こんなの全然論理的じゃない。仮説にすらなってない。全部根拠のない妄想。こんなしょうもない妄想を垂れ流す脳の機能をカットしてやりたい。
Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Chrissy has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I will save just in case. Exactly where we are. That's actually the last save that we had. The last save spot. I thought she was facing this calmly too, but I was wrong. Behind her cool facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge that her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting that fear all alone, and now it has finally came to the surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she may be, she's just an 18-year-old girl. Kurisu abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sounds of rain pounding on the roof.
聞いて、岡部。両方救うのは無理。そうで、どうあがいたって。確率は2分の1なの。
だが。
だがじゃない。私の結論は変わる。まゆりを助けて。
I hear the pain in her voice and also the resolve. Kurisu has made up her mind. I look away and clench my fists. My nails dig into the palms of my hands.
そう簡単に諦め、そんなのできるはずがないだろう。
できるかできないかじゃない。あんたをやらなくて。
ダメだ。お前は俺たちの大切な仲間だ。
岡部。
Kurisu drops to her knees and grabs me by my collar. I gasp for breath as she stares into my eyes. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare.
他に解決策があるの？ないんでしょ。私はまゆりを犠牲にしてまで生きていたくない。もしまゆりを助けなかったら。
This can't be happening. I hated this choice with no right answer. I hated the universe for being so cruel, and most of all, I hate myself for forcing Kurisu to speak these words when she's the one with the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Kurisu as she holds me by the collar and tightly embrace her slender body. Her clothes are still wet from the rain, but all I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being.
お前はここにこんなの。
Tension drains from her bag in her hands. She gives her whole body to my embrace.
ありがとう。私のために。でも、もう十分。私は大丈夫だから。
Despite her fear, Kurisu has made her choice. It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide here and now. The future of the world, which friend to let die. Holding Kurisu tightly, I whisper into her ear.
俺は諦めない。絶対に。
Kurisu suddenly pushes me away. She steps back, her face is hidden behind her hair. But her fists are trembling. Her body exudes raw fury.
話にならない。このマザーバッカー。
お前。
私は大丈夫だって言ってんのに。何が諦めないだ。バカなの？死ぬの？英雄気取りか。この中二病患者が。できもしないくせにカッコつけてんじゃない。あんたの頭の悪さにはイライラする。なんで私の言うこと素直に聞き入れてくれないのよ。
俺は
あんたがまゆりを助けることが相対的に判断してベストなのよ。
相対的判断などクソくらいだ。
Kurisu stares at me in
俺は
shock.
神じゃない。気がついたらそれに等しい立場にいたけど全然違う。誰を助けて誰を見殺しにするかなんて俺はもう決められない。
I sacrificed their happiness to save Mayuri, and the whole time a voice in the back of my head was asking, is it really okay? What gives me the right?
だから
This time I want to save both of them without sacrificing anyone. Kurisu turns away with a frown, then starts tapping her foot in the clear gesture of displeasure.
どうせ無理よ。いつもあんた言ってるでしょ。回避不能。回は出てる。岡部一人がどれだけ頑張ったって世界の維新には勝てない。
それでも
俺はもがいてやる。
For the super serious part to Rickroll, you are evil. I hear Kurisu grinding her teeth. Then she turns her back
勝手
to
に
me.
しろ。私は手伝わないからな。もうさよなら。もう二度と会うこともないわね。法王院京馬さん。
I knew it. I could sense Jason reading his wallet. I think he has it automated at this point. It's just like
バカに程がある。
one click delivery. Kurisu disappears down the stairs, muttering insults until I can no longer see her. Now alone, I sigh into the darkness. Kurisu's absolutely right. I can't think of a single way to save them both. I'm a fool, and yet I have to try. But this time, I won't have Kurisu's help. I have to fight the universe alone. How do I save both of them? I can't use D-mail, too much could go wrong. I don't want to make the same mistakes again. In the end, all I can do is time leap. Time leaping can save Mayuri, but at least it can delay her death. Give me time to find solution. On this world line, Mayuri dies at 7:30 on the night of August 17th. That's about 26 hours from now. My battle has no end in sight. If only Suzuha were here, I could have asked her for advice, but even alone, I must find a way. So resolved, I start time leaping again to save Mayuri. I've done this before. When Mayuri died the first time at Moeka's hands, I tried time leaping to prevent her death. But I only tried running away that time. This time I try every approach I can think of. I try hiring bodyguards to protect Mayuri. I try taking Mayuri to South America, an entire world away from Japan. I try crippling CERN with attacks on their servers, the ones that don't need the IBN. I try getting Mayuri admitted to a hospital. It's hard given Mayuri's perfect health, but I manage. My goal is to keep her from dying by a heart attack. I try everything I can possibly imagine. However, every plan fails. Mayuri dies again and again and again. Sometimes it's murder, sometimes an accident, but every time I leap she dies. Maybe it really is impossible to resist fate. As long as I remain on this world line, she can't be saved. Fate will kill her every time. From Mayuri's perspective, she only dies once. But I have seen her die dozens of times, all because of me. And yet it no longer affects me as it used to. Little by little, I have grown desensitized to her death. In the beginning, I felt unbearable pain every time I saw her die, and murderous rage towards the ones responsible. Now I feel nothing. The realization stuns me. After dozens of leaps, I finally realize what should have been obvious from the beginning. I never leap back more than 26 hours. Ban Jason. Why? I could go back as far as August 11th, one whole week in the past. Yet I never do. Why? Because I know that even if I do, nothing will change. I don't believe that anything will change. Every time Mayuri dies, I find myself thinking another failure. What went wrong this time? I calmly analyze Mayuri's death, then take my data and head to the time leap machine with a sigh, like a gamer forced to the umpteenth time to restart a particularly difficult stage. I'm just going through the motions. I didn't even realize until this moment how routine it had all become. Now that I have, my actions suddenly seem meaningless. I can't take another step. And that's how I find myself here, sitting motionless in the front of a time leap machine. I've been staring at it for hours. When we got caught in that evening shower on the Radican rooftop, my clothes got soaked, but now they're completely dry. My body temperature has dropped, but I don't have the energy to warm myself with a shower. I sluggishly get to my feet and pick up the headset. The sight of it fills me with resignation. Resignation, that's all. There's no desperate drive to save Mayuri, no hope that this time I might succeed. Those emotions are long gone. In truth, they have been gone since my argument with Kurisu. Deep down, I always knew that she was right. I pretended not to see it. I told myself that the time leap machine could not solve everything. But that was just an excuse, a last attempt to satisfy my ego. In the end, all I'm doing
逃
is...
げるの？
I turn around in surprise, and there I see Kurisu standing in the doorway. I thought she'd never wanted to see me again. Why is she here?
なんで
Kurisu ignores my questions and fixes me with her usual glare.
タイムリープするのは逃げよ。
You don't have to tell me, I already know. I know all too well. In the end, all I'm doing is running away, running from responsibility, running from the decision. If I had known I would have to make this choice, then I would have refused Suzuha when she entrusted me with her mission.
これまでもマユリを助けるためっていう、しかもそのことで感じる罪の
Hi,
意識
Jessica,
も
how are you?
人としての
We are heavily immersing
まと
ourselves
も
in
な
the
感
story,
覚
and
が
Jason is sabotaging
失
us
わ
with
れてい
that
く
one.
んだ。
A little bit tired.
だったら
I really, really like it. We're almost at the very end.
タイムリ
I
ープ
will.
マシンっていう
I
保
will
険
rest.
が
Thank
効か
you.
ないからかもな。俺はこのマシンを使いこなしてなんていなくて。
He is back. Actually, Flankata, you should be satisfied. He's back to the Super Omega Depresso Okabe, the one that we had when he was stuck in the loop for hundreds of times. She suddenly looks away. Then she leans against the wall and smiles bitterly.
私がそうだから。
Is Kurisu running too? From what?
今の岡部見てられない。自分の
I mean, he
心
probably
がボロボ
lived
ロ
a
になってるんじ
decade
ゃない
at this point if we think about
そ
it.
こまで思い悩まずに私の言うことを素直に受け入れればいいんだ。
I am back to hating how indecisive he is. I still don't know, because at this point we should have an option to decide and we should be able to go into Mayuri ending, but we didn't have that. I was focused on reaching the true ending, but maybe that prevents us from going to the Mayuri ending. So, no matter how we finish, we will still check what we need for Mayuri ending and we'll just skip. Honestly, I'm glad he's fighting to find another way. Yeah. I think if you have all the flags, you are set for a trending. I mean, I do have all the flags, that's the point. I have this video open that is called How to Reach a True Ending in Steins Gate. And the message that we received at the beginning of this chapter is we can only get it if we have all the flags. However, part of it should be clickable so we could respond to it, but it wasn't, and I'm not sure why.
さっき言った通りベータ世界線に行きなさい。まゆり、それがあんたのためでもあるし。
So maybe it's actually the choice. Like, I think it would be pretty cool if the choice was that if we go for the true ending, we cannot reach just the Mayuri ending. But we will see. We will see after that chapter. No more emails. No more leaps. There's no perfect world where both Kurisu and Mayuri live. Maybe there are things I have yet to try, but I'm certain that all of them will end in vain. As long as I stay on this world line, Mayuri will die. And if I go to the beta world line, Kurisu will die. We'll never be able to talk like this again. It's only been 20 days since we met, and yet memories of Kurisu flash before my eyes.
ちょっと勝手に殺さないでくれますか？
An ending where Kurisu is dead is an ending not worth entertaining. I agree, and I also don't think that Mayuri is actually dead, right? We know that she's a god.
例えば実際に皆さんが体ごと過去や未来へ行くことが誰がクリスティーナだ一言も言っとらんわ。これまでの自分を否定したくないの。私たちひょっとすると前にあんた言ってくれたでしょ。じゃあ電話レンジの改良が終わったらあんたの力になりたい。ありがとう。私のために。
So much has happened those past 20 days. We argued, we exchanged insults. We made incredible discoveries together, and when confronted with the implications, we shared our fears. Whenever I hit a dead end in my struggle to save Mayuri, I always turned to Kurisu for help. She always listened, she always believed me. And I helped her too when she was distraught over her father. We promised to go to Aomori together. Without this girl genius on our side, we would not have the time leap machine. Proud, passionate Makise Kurisu, always strong or at least pretending to be. A little nosy too, and a serious to a fault. But I far knew it, she had become the center of the lab. From the very beginning, I was attracted to her radiant confidence. I found myself mesmerized by her every gesture, hanging on her every word. I listened and raptured whenever she presented her latest theory. At the very end of the day, the reason I never called her by her name was because I was too embarrassed. I admired her, longed for her, and I didn't want to admit it to myself. Only now do I realize the truth. I love her, and that is why I want so desperately to save her. She's not just a fellow lab member. To me, she's far more than that, and yet I have no choice. In the end, everything she said was right.
俺はお前をすまない。
In a desperate attempt to hold back my tears, I bite my lip tightly. The taste of blood spreads through my
な
mouth.
んでよりによってクリスなんだって思う。くそ。
Silence. Nothing moves. Outside the window is only darkness. Is that what it's like to be the only person left in the world?
ねえ岡部、あんたがベータ世界線に行ったら、こうして仲間として一緒に過ごした記憶はマユリや橋田からは消えちゃうのよね。
Kurisu cheek starts red as she turns
岡
away.
部は私のこと
Her voice is barely a
お前
whisper.
のことは誰よりも大切な女のことを。
何バカなこと言ってんのよ。
事実だ。
それは証明が必要。
Kurisu is getting flustered for some reason.
ACTH の分泌過剰になり、ガンマ波から確率共鳴が起きてヒルベルト曲線のハウスト
Oh,
ルフ
that's
次元は
very...
無限大と仮定されるわけだから、つまり
クリス、
I speak her name. Our eyes meet.
俺はお前が好きだ。
Kurisu looks away. Her face is bright red.
お前はお前は俺のこと
知りたいのか。
Kurisu suddenly looks at me straight in the eye. Her face is still red, but her expression is firm. She walks straight up to me, grabs me by the collar, and jerks me towards her.
目を閉じろ。
Did I make her mad? Perhaps Kurisu hates me for some reason. Maybe she really did mean all those insults she said to me. That would be really sad. I slowly lick my trembling lips and timidly try to ask a
な
question.
ぜ
いいから閉じなさいよ。
I do as I'm told, though I still don't know why she's so angry. My collar is still in her grip. Abruptly, I feel the soft sensation against my lips. The faint scent of citrus tickles my nose. When I open my eyes in surprise, I see Kurisu's face scant millimeters away, and then I understand what has happened. She's kissing me. Her lips are very warm. My mind goes blank. I'm unable to think. I want to stay like this forever, but soon our lips separate. Kurisu looks down shyly.
別にしたくてしたんじゃない。
He did it because I wanted to or anything.
たださっき約束したでしょ。 より強烈な感情とともに海馬に記名されたエピソード
Oh,
記
thank
憶
you
は
for the raid.
冷
How
却
was
されにくいの。
how was your stream? What did you play today? I saw you were playing Dead by Daylight yesterday. Did you still play it today?
それに岡部は変態童貞だからファーストキスのことについて聖地化リハーサルが行われるはずで
He is
それはす
so
ぐに長
cruel.
期記憶になってそうそう忘れないかって思ってどうしても岡部にだけは私のこと
My heart fills with love for Kurisu as she makes her frantic excuses. With a relief, Kurisu wasn't mad. She was just trying to hide her embarrassment. I see. I don't know much about Overwatch. I played some DBD in the past though, but only a bit. I want to be with her more, even more. I want to talk with her even more. I want to learn even more about her, but I know that wish can never come true. My chest tightens. I feel like I'm suffocating. Desperate to keep my emotions under control, I place my own hands on top of Kurisu's, which are still grabbing my collar.
残念だったな。俺はこれがファーストキスではない。
What? Oh, Moeka.
うるさい、少女。
Oh, never mind, that was Mayuri. I remember playfully kissing Mayuri in elementary school, and just a little while ago I forcibly kissed Moeka to silence her. Sure, you're more than welcome to vibe here and have some nice food. And thank you for the taxes, including tariffs. And thank you for the headbutt. But that was on another world line, and now it never happened, so I guess it doesn't count?
そうか。
そうだ。だから今のは印象としては弱い。
Is he asking for more? I'm lying, of course. I never felt such an intense kiss as that. The shock was like a lightning bolt to the brain, but still, I'm lying. Because if I miss this opportunity, I'll never be able to touch Kurisu again. This is my last chance.
もう一度だ。
Beware getting spooked by Jason's alerts, almost dropped a jar of spice while cooking. What are you cooking? Will you share? Kurisu fidgets. She usually glares at me harshly, but now she's avoiding my eyes.
絶対に忘れたくないから。
I decide to take the initiative. I wrap my arm gently around her waist and pull her slender body against mine.
それならしょうがないな。
Kurisu looks up at me shyly.
キスだけどうぞ。
If it has meat, I don't want to. If it has no meat, then yes, please share. What is she Wait, is she what? What is she worried I'll do? Okay.
ちゃんと
Now I managed to read that.
その
I run my fingers softly through her hair. Then I slowly bend down. We're both shy, so we end up pecking at each other's lips like two small birds. Then we draw back and look at each other. Kurisu's eyes are wet, tears are running down her cheeks. I kissed them away. They're salty.
忘れないで。
We press our lips together again. Stronger than the first time, longer than the first time. I never want to let go. We embrace each other tightly, our feelings too powerful to contain. We seek each other's warmth again and again. Sounds wrong. Locked in our embrace, we feel each other's breath. We feel each other's scent. We feel each other's taste.
時間が
Kurisu's whisper resonates through our embrace.
あっという間に過ぎていく。今だけはアインシュタインに時間は絶対的じゃない。アインシュタインは時間が人や状況によってねえ相対性理論ってとても切ないものだね。
How does Kurisu feel about me? In the end, she never really answered my question. Bruh. Early morning, Akihabara Station. Kurisu standing before the entrance with her huge suitcase beside her. I'm being meowed at. And that's too early for the supper. She waves to me shyly as I approach. Then she blushes and shoots me her usual glare. After that kiss, Kurisu went back to her hotel to pack. That suitcase must hold everything that she brought to Japan. She's going back to America.
マユリとダルは本当に呼ばなくていいの？
なんだかみんなに見送られると辛くなるから。岡部だけなら何のためらいもなく日本を立てる。ジョークよ。
Her actions showed plainly, but he so much wanted her to say it. Yeah, true. But I won't cry. I don't have that right.
手土産だ。持っていけ。
I hand her future gunjet number 2, the bamboo helicam. It's a bamboo helicopter equipped with a CCD camera which allows it to record video in the air. A truly groundbreaking invention, but sadly due to its constant high-speed rotation, the video it produced tends to cause motion sickness.
いらね
え。いいから。そんなにかさばるわけじゃないし。
I wanted to give her the future gadget number 7, Ghost in the Ball, but it was too big. Kurisu accepts bamboo helicam with a strained
え。し
smile.
ょうがないから受け取っておく。
And then silence. No words of farewell. We just look at each other.
青森。一緒に行けなかったな。
うん。でもこの2週間なんだかんだで楽しかった。マユリや橋田によろしくね。
Kurisu spreads her arms wide. Without a moment's hesitation, I step forward and embrace the girl genius one last time.
元気で。
Kurisu smiles faintly, then turns and walks towards the entrance with a suitcase in hand. I watch her go, but I wanted to stop her. I wanted to wrap my arms around her and tell her to stay with me forever. But I can't. This is what we decided, to save Mayuri, to save the future. I am so sorry, Kurisu, I can't save you. Kurisu will disappear, she'll be left behind on this world line. There is no place for her in the coming world.
俺はマキセ・クリスのことをマキセ・クリスの絶対に
I don't know whether
忘れ
Kurisu
ない
hears my words. She keeps walking, stride steady, back straight, long silky hair fluttering in the wind. She's quickly fading into the distance, but I can tell. I see her shoulders trembling. We will never meet again. Our world lines will never cross again. I'm glad I met you, Kurisu. I would have been lost without you. I love you. Goodbye. I stand there in the entrance as commuters file past until long after she has vanished from sight, afraid that any motion, any thought, might cause the tears to fall.
それではこれよりオペレーションベルダンディ最終フェーズを開始する。
Mayuri and Daru turn to me and nod. Today is the last day of Komima. Daru wanted to attend, of course, but a little begging convinced him to prioritize the operation. I take a look around the lab. These 20 days have been madness. It's incredible to think that at one point this lab had a whole 8 members, and now we're back to 3. The memories we made, the experiences we shared. To save Mayuri, I will undo them all. There is sorrow in me and guilt. I engraved them deep inside my heart. I'll never forget, I mustn't forget these long yet so short summer days. But still, I chose to erase our memories. I choose to return everything back to normal. Suzuha's mission is irrelevant. I'm not doing this for the future. As long as Mayuri lives, nothing else matters.
いいんだな。
ああ、
大きいドキ。
Daru starts typing. This will get us into CERN's central database where they keep the data they mine with Echelon. There we will locate the first demon license in July and erase all trace of its existence. With this, I can reach the beta world line. At last, Mayuri will be safe. I look at her. She's on the couch, sitting straight as a ramrod. With her grandmother's pocket watch pressed to her ear, she stays still, her eyes closed. Whenever Mayuri wants to calm down, she listens to the sound of that pocket watch. Earlier, I told her everything. I guess she's come to terms with it in her own way. The actual work I've left to Daru, no problem there. While waiting for him to finish, I walk into the development room. In the center of the room is a time leak machine. I squat down and gently brush my fingers against the microwave surface. It's cool to the touch. I've made irreplaceable friends because of this thing, and because of this thing I've hurt them. But I don't want to blame the tool. It's how you use the tool that matters, and I've got to admit it saved me more than once. But still, once this is over, I'll destroy the time leak machine. We must never make the same mistakes again.
あったのか。しっかり残ってるを。
That points to a string of characters. 3 lines total, each 12 characters long. The data led CERN to us. At FB instructions, Mike and Round was attacked. If Suzuha is right, then by erasing this data, we will escape the attractor field alpha where CERN dominates the future. That will take us to the attractor field beta, but the beta world line within its range of convergence, to a future without Mayuri's death. Mayuri is standing next to me, gazing intently at the monitor. She grasps my hand firmly.
大丈夫だ。
She looks anxious, so I pat her head to calm her down.
エンターキーを押せばデータ消せるようになってる。
Daru stands up and gestures to the open seat.
その儀式はオカリンに譲るわ。
This time it ends. Kurisu's face flows through my mind. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Goodbye, Kurisu. Slowly I raise my right hand and extend my index finger.
勝利の時は来た。
Daru twitches at my cry.
この俺はあらゆる陰謀に屈せず、己の信念を貫き、この勝利のため我が手足となって戦ってくれた仲
One
間た
press
ち
of
に
his key and Kurisu will die. I firmly grip my coat at the shoulder where it has been stitched together with jagged pink thread.
訪れるのは俺が望んだ世界なり。
I wished for Mayuri to live and Kurisu to die. That is the truth, and I must never
すべ
forget
て
it.
はシュタインズゲートの選択である。
This is the choice of a Caballero Rintaro.
世界は再構成される。
I swing down my index finger. At the exact same time, I hear the lab door open. My eyes dart towards the sound. There, in the doorway, stands Kurisu. Her face is flushed. Was she running? Why is she here? She should be on her way to the airport right now. Kurisu is looking at me. Her eyes are glistening, but her face is all smiles. Did she come back to me? In a split of a second of frozen time, I imagine I hear her voice. We didn't say goodbye, she says. Immediately afterward, my finger strikes the enter key. The world starts to warp. The timeline is being rewritten. I feel my consciousness being sucked into the vortex. Reading Steiner. The vergence is changing. The warp accelerates. Kurisu. Daru. Mayuri. Everything inside the lab is shifting. Color fades as my consciousness leaves this world line. I turn to face Kurisu, desperate to burn this last sight of her into my eyes. She raises her hand.
さよなら。私も岡部のことが。
She did tell him she loves him. The world gradually stops spinning. Little by little, color returns. I look to the door. She was standing there just a moment ago. My assistant, Christina Makise Kurisu. Now she's gone, vanished like a dream. I look around the room. Next to me is Daru. Behind me is Mayuri. Everything is where it should be. It looks like nothing has changed at all. I gently touch my coat's shoulder where Kurisu fixed a torn seam. It's gone. My coat isn't torn. The stitches, uneven from having been sewn in the dark, have disappeared. There's no trace of that ridiculous pink thread. I stand up and head to the development room. Underneath the table, the time leap machine. No, that's not the time leap machine. That's the phone wave. The upgrades Kurisu made are gone. Nothing has changed. The world is exactly the same. In all respects save one. Kurisu was never here. Every trace of her has vanished. Kurisu's nowhere now, nowhere except in my memories. Mayuri and Daru are looking at me.
なあ、ラボメンナンバー004は
I
誰だっ
need
け？
to ask, even though I know what the answer will be.
オカリン、
それとも名前すら明かされてない隠れ
A
メンバー
quick
が
cute girl,
Yeah.
that's pain. I knew that it would be like this. But the fact that they forgot her existence is so saddening, so frightening. I'm the only person in the world who remembers Makise Kurisu's lab mem 04, so I won't forget. I alone will live with her memory engraved upon my heart. Now, time to proclaim my triumph. There are still things that must be done, and many sacrifices were made to get here. But despite all that, this is my victory. I have won.
今ここにラグナロックの勝敗は決した。この俺、狂気のマッドサイエンティストである時空を操ることで、そしてたどり着いたこの大いなる地平、我が野望が叶う世界、世界の支配構造はリセットされ、混沌の未来が待つであろう。これこそがシュタインズ。
オカリン、
Mayuri suddenly throws her arms around me. I freeze, utterly taken aback. Daru looks as confused as I am. Mayuri looks up at me and smiles. Is the gentle smiles that I've seen.
もういいんだよ。
何を言ってるんだ。
だって今のオカリン、泣き出しそうな顔してるんだもん。ねえ、無理しないで。
She
前
does.
にも言ったよね。
Like, it's 100% that she
オカリン
knows.
の重荷にはなりたくないって。もうその口調続けなくても
Also,
いいんだよ。
keep in mind, just before we time leaped, we told her everything and she seemed pretty much unfazed. She was only listening to that watch that her grandma left her, right?
辛いなら普通に戻ってオカリンの心をね。
俺、
もうマユシーのことは気にしなくていいから。マユシーは大丈夫だから。オカリンはね、オカリンの何があったのかは泣いても。
Ah, she's lying, she knows. And just like that, the mask shatters. All it took was one word from Mayuri. Mayuri, the sister I never had, the girl who always needed my protection. I had to save her, that was my purpose. I even sacrificed the girl I loved, but now I finally realize that it's over. Mayuri is safe, I am free. And once more I see Kurisu's face in my mind's eye. I recall the warmth of her body, the softness of her lips, the weight of her last words. One by one, they pound against my heart. I can't bear it anymore.
オカリン、マジで泣いてんの？
Tears run down my cheeks. A tidal wave of emotions crashes over me. Nothing remains to hold it back. I'll never see Kurisu again. That knowledge shreds my heart. I can't hold back my sobs. I can't stop my tears. This is the world I've been searching for. A world where Mayuri does not die. And yet, it is missing the person most precious to me. It's too much. It's too cruel. Why did it have to be Kurisu? Why was I forced to choose? Why did she send me off with a smile? I cling to Mayuri. She strokes my hair gently. I surrender to my grief. 3 days have passed since then and Mayuri is still alive. Moeka and the Rounders have not attacked and Tennoji has shown no sign of moving against us. Daru has been visiting Mei Queen as usual, while Mayuri has been working on costume designs for next Komima. Everything is back to normal. Everything save the hole in my heart.
これで最後だ
I'm
な。
standing by the dumpsters out back of the lab. We just finished dumping the last of the trash. This morning I called the data and together we dismantled the phone wave and the IBN 5000.
はあ、もったいねえな。IBN5100 は売ればプレミアつくのに。
それよりね、
We don't have a
なのからね、
microwave.
マユシーはもうジューシー唐揚げナンバーワン。
電子レンジぐらい拾ってくればいいだろう。
We no longer need the phone wave, that miraculous time machine built by coincidence. It brought Kurisu into my life, but at the same time it made many people suffer. It must never be used again, not by me, not by anyone. It's time for the phone wave to die, and with it, the insane mad scientist Hoin Kyoma, lord of space and time. I recall what Kurisu once said.
これまでの自分を否定したくないの。たとえ失敗ばかりだったとしても、それを含めて今の自分があるんだから。
I gaze once more upon the scrap heap that was future gadget number 8. We stripped it down to the last bolt circuit board. Surely no one can rebuild it now. Time travel is too much power for any human to wield. We don't need demails or time leaps, even if nothing in the future is guaranteed. Even though I may die tomorrow, life was never meant to be redone. And that's fine by me. Wouldn't you say that so too, Kurisu? I look up at the sky, and even though it's in the middle of the day, I can see a single star shining. Maybe it's Venus, which suddenly reminds me.
過去にだって今すぐ行けますよ。夜になったら望遠鏡で空を覗いてみてください。何万年も前の光を見ることができるでしょう。
Every night we casually traveled through time. That's what Kurisu said. And each and every word she spoke I carve into my heart, so that I'll never let them slip from memory, for as long as my life endures. Wait, but where is our... We actually didn't have a choice to go to the chapter 11. Because we didn't have that one trigger at the end, despite having all the prior triggers. So that is Kurisu's ending. That is Kurisu's ending. To get to Mayuri's ending, you cannot have a relationship with Kurisu. I just googled that. So we would have to ignore Kurisu for an entire freaking game. And the thing is, I have no idea how do we get to chapter 11. Yeah, really Mayuri. Okay, let's Google how to reach the ending. Maybe we actually have to... Maybe we actually have to like either look through all of those subtitles